Welcome to the Transitions Daily podcast. Transitions Daily is an online recovery group that offers a daily distribution of popular recovery resources accompanied by a secret Facebook group for discussion. We hope you enjoy today's readings.
This is Transitions Daily for February 4th, read by Sarah M. from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. AA Thoughts for the Day. Humility. Every newcomer in AA is told, and soon realizes for himself, that his humble admission of powerlessness over alcohol is his first step toward liberation from its paralyzing grip. So it is that we first see humility as a necessity. But this is the barest beginning. A whole lifetime geared to self-centeredness cannot be set in reverse all at once. Rebellion dogs our every step at first. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, pages 72 to 73. Thought to consider. Many people haven't even a nodding acquaintance with humility as a way of life. AA acronyms. HOPE. Helping other people every day. Just for today. Relief. From More About Alcoholism. They grinned, which I didn't like too much, and then asked me if I thought myself alcoholic and if I were really licked this time. Then they outlined the spiritual answer and program of action, which 100 of them had followed successfully. Though I had been only a nominal churchman, their proposal were not, intellectually, hard to swallow. But the program of action, though entirely sensible, was pretty drastic. It meant I would have to throw several lifelong conceptions out of the window. That was not easy, but the moment I made up my mind to go through with the process, I had the curious feeling that my alcoholic condition was relieved, as in fact it proved to be. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 42. Daily Reflections. Sometimes AA comes harder to those who have lost or rejected faith than to those who never had any faith at all, for they think they have tried faith and found it wanting. They have tried the way of faith and the way of no faith. From 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 28. I was so sure God had failed me that I became ultimately defiant, though I knew better, and plunged into a final drinking binge. My faith turned bitter, and that was no coincidence. Those who had once great faith had hit bottom harder. It took time to rekindle my faith. Though I came to AA, I was grateful intellectually to have survived such a great fall, but my heart felt callous. Still, I stuck with the AA program. The alternatives were too bleak. I kept coming back, and gradually my faith was resurrected. As Bill sees it. Suffering transmuted. While AA has restored thousands of poor Christians to their churches and has made believers out of atheists and agnostics, it has also made good AAs out of those belonging to the Buddhist, Islamic, and Jewish faiths. For example, we question very much whether our Buddhist members in Japan would ever have joined this society had AA officially stamped itself a strictly Christian movement. You can easily convince yourself of this by imagining that AA started among the Buddhists and that they then told you couldn't join them unless you became a Buddhist too. If you were a Christian alcoholic under these circumstances, you might well turn your face to the wall and die. From a letter, 1954. Big Book Quote. When we became alcoholics, crushed by a self-imposed crisis we could not postpone or evade, we had to fearlessly face the proposition that either God is everything or else he is nothing. God either is or he isn't. Alcoholics Anonymous, We Agnostics, page 53. 24 hours a day, AA thought for the day. Treating others to drinks gave us a kind of satisfaction. We liked to say, "Have a drink on me," but we were not really doing the other people a favor. We were only helping them to get drunk, especially if they happened to be alcoholic. In AA, we really try to help other alcoholics. We build them up instead of tearing them down. Drinking created a sort of fellowship, but it really was a false fellowship because it was based on selfishness. We used our drinking companions for our own pleasure. In AA, we have real fellowship based on unselfishness and a desire to help each other. And we make real friends, not fair weather friends. With sobriety, have I got everything that drinking's got without the headaches? Meditation for the day. I know that God cannot teach anyone who is trusting in a crutch. I will throw away the crutch of alcohol and walk in God's power and spirit. God's power will so invigorate me that I shall indeed walk on to victory. There is never any limit to God's power. I will go step by step, one day at a time. God's will shall be revealed to me as I go forward. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may have more and more dependence on God. I pray that I may throw away my alcoholic crutch and let God's power take its place. Hazelden Foundation, P.O. Box 176, Center City, Minnesota 55012. I'm Sarah, and I'm an alcoholic.
We hope you enjoyed today's readings. You can also receive Transitions Daily via email and discuss today's readings in our secret Facebook group. So for more information, go to dailyaaemails.com today.
Other than the 24 hours a day reading, unless otherwise specified, all quotes copyright Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc., 1952, 1957, 1967, 1973, 1975, 1976, 1980, 1981, 1984, 1985, 1988, 1990, or 2001.